What's up, guys? Dr. Mo here, digital nomad physician at digitalnomadphysician.com. Welcome to another YouTube video. It is June 16th, 2024. Yeah, things are going good. I got maybe 2 more shifts left here in Southern California at the urgent care group that I work at, and then afterwards I'll get back into doing a little bit of telemedicine just to keep my have some skin in the game, as they say, because if I feel like I'm not really doing things for other people as well, like working in the industry, I don't know. I feel like I don't have as good of a grasp on things. Which companies are popping up, what is it that they're doing, how are they doing things differently. If I'm only working for my own company, seeing my own patients, I feel a little bit like I fall into a little bit of a bubble. And it's important to recognize that about yourself. Are you the kind of physician who likes to, dabble into a bunch of different things, or just do your own thing? Anyway, besides that, I had a great meeting today. I met with this nurse practitioner and a budding psychotherapist. So, what I mean by budding psychotherapist is that he's still got to do his master's, and he's got to do a few things before he can start seeing patients. But they have a great concept, and I wanted to talk about that. So there are 2 ways to kind of think about when you want to offer clinical services to someone. There's 2 ways to think about it. 1, you know exactly what it is you want to do, and you're going to go after that. 2, you kind of start something and you wait for people to come to you. You wait for the right people to come to you and then define what it is that you're going to do. I've said this before, you don't always get to choose what your medical practice is going to look like. And if you can build it with a lot of flexibility, then you can actually fine tune it to be not only something you like a lot, but it's also going to serve a lot of patients in a sustainable way. There's a lot of examples I can bring up, but let's start with something maybe more relatable to you guys, and then I'll kind of finish off with something more unique to me, perhaps. Imagine you live in a certain city. So I live in Long Beach, California. My base in the US is in Long Beach, California now. It used to be Portland, Oregon. Now it's Long Beach, California. If I like this area, if I want to stay here, then I can go find a dilapidated building, like a commercial building, and buy it, and ask the city to help me buy it, and tell them that, hey, I'm going to offer some services to lower income individuals. Go to the Chamber of Commerce, just ask for support and help to build something that's going to be a great asset for the community. So I can open that clinic, I can build it out, and I can just go plant my ass there and just start seeing patients. So who's going to come to me? Well, assuming the clinic has some decent signage, of course, which is often necessary unless you already have a great following and a great marketing strategy, then people are going to see it. People are going to find it. They're going to come in. They're going to walk in. They're going to ask you questions like, hey, what do you guys do? And in fact, that initial question that they ask you, you want to make sure you're part of that. If it's your front desk, your office manager, or medical assistant you hired, or if you're so new that you're the one who's essentially wielding those questions, you really want to be able to use that question and what it is that your patients, your customers are looking for, to maybe design the kind of service that's going to be great for you and great for them. So I had a good example of somebody who reached out to me, and he is in Florida, and the neighborhood that he's in is just a bunch of really rich retired people. So those are the only people that ended up at his clinic. And he was like, I really wasn't thinking about servicing those people, because the neighborhood itself, it's actually much younger people, but the only people that came to him were those. So, we worked together, we chatted about a few great options, and he actually started offering a really good and both profitable, but also something he really likes to those individuals. So now he's working with the kind of clientele that maybe initially he wasn't that excited about. But I think at the same time, he would have been open to that had he even considered it. I think if he had opened the clinic with the specific intention of only catering to the young and healthy, then he would have had to take a whole different approach. But he was open to it. He was like, hey, let other people come. It wasn't even on his mind that it was going to be those kind of people. He thought those people are going to the other end of town getting services from a whole different set of physicians. So stay flexible, stay open-minded, let the people who come to you decide what it is that you're going to offer, and then tailor that service to them based on feedback that you get from those individuals. Another option might be, or another way to think about it is, you might be interested in something. For example, right now, longevity, weight loss, a few other things that are kind of like very popular, maybe functional medicine type of stuff. It's kind of the hype, and you might be interested in that. That might be something you're passionate about. So you can start your practice in a way where you're talking about that content, and let that content be the sort of natural marketing tool that you use to bring people in. And if those people are interested in what you're talking about, they're going to ping you. They're going to say, hey, do you do this? Do you do that? And then you can decide if that's what you're interested in. And this is maybe a little bit more so for somebody who's offering something virtual as opposed to something physical. If you offer something virtual, the kind of content you put out, that natural marketing that you do, is going to attract a certain type of people. They're going to ask you questions, and then you can adjust your marketing content, or your blog posts, your articles, your YouTube videos. These days it's a lot of YouTube videos, to make sure that you're reaching the right kind of audience. Like, is this whom I want to reach? And if it is, and if the people are asking you, hey, do you also do this? Do you also do that? You can say, no, but I will for you. Or, you can then adjust your marketing to adjust your workflow to service those individuals. Finally, I'll say, for me, it's really important that I'm focusing on the prevention stuff. So I really just want to do prevention. So everything I do is talking about prevention, preventative medicine, preventive this, preventive that. Talk about a disease that you can prevent. What is it that you can do to prevent it? Whatever. That's what I'm interested in. So it's a lot of kind of talking to patients, not so much prescribing a bunch of meds, ordering a bunch of tests, etc. So if I can lead with that, that's perfectly fine too. It's very similar to leading with functional medicine or preventative oncology services, or preventative ACL tear services. You can lead with that, knowing that that's what you want to do, but you don't have to yet know what your business practice is going to look like. You don't have to yet know what your clientele is going to look like, and you don't have to know how much you're even going to charge. You can figure that out. People can come to you initially, and you can say, hey, look, it's a new business, and I'm sort of trying to figure out my pricing. Would this be okay? Can we move forward with that? A psychiatrist in Chicago who's been working with me, she kind of figured that out herself, and she's like, hey, I kind of really want to offer these services. I'm really doing this psychotherapy stuff as well, but I really want to offer these services. So when people found me and saw me talking about this stuff, they came to me and say, hey, I really want to do this. And she's like, oh, I haven't really thought about like a pricing model yet for this. Would you be open to $500 to do this? Would you be open $1,500 for that? And this is a physical practice. So people just naturally gravitated towards her. And even though she's offering the psychotherapy, she all of a sudden started offering all this other stuff, and the patients set the prices. Of course, the prices made sense. So I initially brought the story up because of my nurse practitioner friend and my therapy friend, or couple. And I think what they're doing is brilliant. They have a mission in mind, they have an objective in mind, they have a vision for the practice, and so they kind of already are there, right? They know what it is, what they want to do with that community that they have. And so they were kind of asking me for some guidance, and it was, an honor to be able to give them any of my information, everything that I've learned. But I think what they're doing really well is that they know they want to have the most amount of impact on the patients' lives, and they know that that's going to be profitable. And maybe I had to reiterate that to them, like, hey, look, any kind of value you're going to offer someone, eventually you're going to profit from it, because they're going to profit from it, and they're going to appreciate that. So for them, the most important thing is that the people that come to them end up having better clinical outcomes. And I think if you can lead with that and focus on that, it's much more likely that you're going to get very, very happy patients, as long as your customer service is really good, because those people have to also understand that they're getting great service. And that's something I've mentioned in previous videos. You're offering a service that's going to create a certain clinical outcome. Is your patient aware that they're having that clinical outcome? If not, make sure you demonstrate it to them, make sure you point it out to them. So that's maybe the customer service part. The other part is offering the services that people are looking for. If your patients are looking for this particular set of services, you got to make sure you're offering that to them, if that is in line with what it is you're doing. But if you're already down to be the clinician that's going to have an impact on these people's lives, you can kind of slowly start adding that. You don't have to figure all of that out in the beginning. You don't have to perfect it. It can all slowly come about. Patients are very comfortable with a new practice popping up in their neighborhood or even something virtual, as long as you're honest with them that, hey, I'm still growing, I'm still understanding what to do. I have no problems with the clinical part, but I want to make sure that I'm doing something or offering it in a way that is of value to you. Patients are very understanding of that. So I hope that's helpful. Just this idea to make this YouTube video came about from talking to these guys, and I love what it is that they're about to build. And I think it's going to be incredibly successful because of what they're honed in on, what they're zoomed in on. So anyway, if you have any more questions, check out digitalnomadphysician.com. Take care.